Hey Shane, this is the 86. Been trying to get out and wash it today, clean it up a little bit for you to look at, but because of the weather, as you can see, it's still raining on us, so I can't get out and do a lot with it. But I wanted you to just have a good look at it and see the car, so we could even figure out if you're interested in it. If you were, then I'd get it detailed, get it cleaned up, all that stuff. But like I said, the rain's kind of messing me up. Overall, the car itself is in really good shape. As far as body-wise, there's no big damage on the car anywhere. You see the tail lights aren't cracked, anything like that. The glass is in good shape. It is going to have paint at some point if you want it perfect. The paint's not perfect. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not perfect. You can see there on the gas where it's stained over the years a little bit. The trim and everything's in pretty good shape on it. I've been replacing weather stripping. I've got the inner and outer door weather stripping at the bottom there. I've got that replaced. It's got new door handles on it. The only really the dent in the car is right here, if you can see it. See if I can get it there for you. There's a small little ding, sorry, that looks like something bumped it at some point. But other than that, no big dents in door panels, quarter panels, anything like that. And then the other thing would be right here at the bottom. It hit something at some point and cracked that little fog light spot there. But when I had the fog lights in, you really didn't see that. The car, whoever had it before me, had it painted all white with a black stripe. But my plans was to paint it back factory with the where the trim mold in there around the bumpers and everything is actually black, and as well as the headlight bezels is black. That's the way it came originally in '86. That's the way I would have wanted it. But it also does have a set of blackouts. I don't know if you would even want those, but they're with it. It's old school, I guess, but they're there. I'll leave them on for you to decide what you want to do with those. Again, there's no big dents, no big dings. Car hasn't been wrecked. The strut towers, I'll show you those in just a second. They're not crushed in, anything like that. But it's all there. Again, that Ford sticker was on it when I got it. I've had this car about a year now. It's just like my first car, and the plan was to restore it exactly like my first car. And we've been doing that, but of course, trying to get something a little different. Show you the inside here. The inside of the car, it's pretty clean. It's not all beat up and everything. Everything's there. Like I told you, the AC does not work. I have the compressor for it, but I haven't got all the rest of the stuff yet. It will, I'm sure. It's just all not there. Let me get in here. You see the gauge clusters all there. All of this works. The fuel gauge works, but for some reason it works backwards. So when you fill it up, it goes to E and just works its way in reverse. I don't know if maybe the wires on the fuel sending unit possibly are backwards. I haven't really worried with it, but so it's got a radio. It's got a Pioneer radio. It's got the Hurst shifter. You can see all this here. It's not beat up. All the power windows, power locks, they still work. The buttons for the fuel cell, for the fuel door and the trunk, they still work. I got a little trash in there from stuff, but the carpet's not in horrible condition. It's definitely not perfect. Like I said, I want to make sure, and I don't want to be misleading. It is not a perfect car, but it's definitely not a bad car either. The back seats are there. They're in pretty good shape as well. The car originally had some red seats in it that were pretty beat up, and I had these out of my '84, which was my car I had in high school. I had taken those out and replaced them, and so I put these seats back in this car. It does have a dash cover. If you've been around the '84s, the '86s and stuff for long, you know that usually there where the speaker grills are, they're going to crack and break out. This does have a cover. It was on the car when I got it. I had never used a cover, but it doesn't look that bad. I wish maybe they would do something different besides that screw right there. Other than that, and that's just me being kind of toothy, I guess. But I'll crank it up here for you. The rain's starting up again, so I'll try to make it quick. But mechanically, the car runs great. There's no issues. There's no knocks. There's no, you know. I mean, it's fine. We drive it all the time. My wife actually drives this car more than I do, so I'm in a little bit of trouble with her on talking about selling it. But I replaced the timing set when I got it. I put a new alternator on it, put a set of underdrive pulleys on it. It's got a BBK cold air intake, you know, the basic whatnots that you do to the little bolt-on stuff. The motor is still stock, still from '86. Now I'm sure it's had a freshen up on it since then, because I would think it did, because it doesn't smoke at all. It doesn't use any oil hardly, more than any other vehicle from '86 would, I guess. But the doors and all are still in really good shape too. They close nice and sit up nice and everything. Right now it does have turn downs on it. I have the tailpipes. I want to put the tailpipes on, but I haven't got around to it yet. But the car is it's stock. It's not an animal. It's not this big bad car. It's just a really fun cruising car. It's reliable. It kind of feels like driving a go-kart after you drove some of the faster stuff, but I have definitely enjoyed it. Under the hood here, I'll show you this. The guy that had it before me has painted this intake. I call it Smurf blue. But let me grab the hood. I have the factory Ford paint for this too. And if you're interested in the car and you want me to change that, I'll make sure that it is fixed before you get it. I'll paint it, pull it off, and paint it. The car, you can see, was originally a red car. Again, the car to be perfect is going to have paint at some point, Shane. I'm not making any ifs, ands, and buts about that. But the body itself, it's actually really straight for an '86. It's not gutted. It's not beat up. You can see the strut towers, which I know you can't see much, but they're all fine. None of them are crinkled or anything like that. The fenders haven't been unbuckled and rebuckled, trying to make everything align. There's a compressor that I bought for it. It's got the factory Ford OEM distributor. I put a new one on it, as well as a new alternator, new tensioner pulley, and of course the mock pulleys there. They don't really do much, but I guess if you're going to bolt something on, you do it. Of course, it's got the BBK cold air intake. And that's it. I mean, it's pretty much her. She's as stock as they come, really. There's no big modifications done to it other than the BBK, the pulleys. It does have an off-road H-pipe. I do have the factory Ford H-pipe with the 4 Cadillac converters that came on the car. I have that, and it's still got the factory little shorty headers. I have a set of BBK shorty headers that could go with the car if you wanted it. Like I said, I'll throw those in there. Again, and it is a factory 4-eyed car, which if you've been watching them much, you know over the years, these have become really popular for some reason. When I had it in high school, everyone made fun of it, and now they want them. So I'm trying to think of anything else I got, but again, the motor it's stock. There's no cam, there's no heads, none of that stuff. It is a smooth driving little car. There's nothing done to it to make it be this performance animal or anything, but it definitely does drive. It's fun to drive. Right now, it's sitting kind of low. If you'll look, the guy put on some kind of lowering springs that were just, I mean, it crawls around. It's low. I have those, and then I also have a set of Eibach that are going to sit a little higher. So those can come with the car as well if you wanted them. This looks good and drives okay. It does, of course, just like any other time you do lower and spring stuff like that. If you put it too low and you get people right in there with you, you're gonna hear the mufflers catch a few rocks and things like that here and there. Show you the trunk area. Still got the carpet and everything in the trunk. Now the side panels, they're not perfect. Again, I don't want to be misleading at all on anything. They're not perfect, but they are there. None of the interior pieces are missing. You can see there's a shot from the back of everything up front. Like I said, it's got some Pioneer 6x9s back here that were in the car. I do have the factory fit speaker grates if you ever wanted to go back to factory speakers and put the grates over it. These were just in it when I got it, and I haven't really worried about changing those. I've been doing other things on the car. So of course it does have what I call the whale tail, the saline spoiler. Some people like it, some people don't. When I was in high school, it was the wing to have, and so this car was basically going to be my high school car all over again. You'll see it still even has the Georgia plates on it where I bought it from the guy a year ago. It doesn't expire till, well, this month now. So I've just been cruising around because it's been a project car. That's pretty much it. It's got the white ponies on it. They're there, but when you paint the car, you probably want to have those repainted if you wanted to stay white or go with a different wheel. My preference would probably eventually be a different wheel, but they don't look bad on the car. On another car they probably would, but because this one's got the whole white thing going on, it's not horrible at all. So the trim's in pretty good shape here. See they actually did. I was surprised to see that they did paint it back with SVO gray when they did it versus just a black. Of course, it does look black on here, but it does have the factory 86 SVO gray. I know the sail panels and trim on the 84s and 86s were that gray. It does look black, but it's a gray. It's got the hood stripe. My goal is to put a little small 2.5-inch cowl on it. I wish it didn't have the hood pins. Those were done before I got it. I do have the hood latch though, so again, my plans was to purchase a little 2.5-inch cowl and stick on there with a factory hood latch. So, and all that cable and stuff is still there. So that's about it. Just let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. Thanks.